hideouts in Borno. Federal government grounds Dana Air operations after Lagos airport incident. Multichoice announces fresh increase in prices of DSTv, GOTv packages. On the international scene, United Kingdom police arrest 3 over 5 migrants' death in Channel. Welcome to the news update at this hour on Trust Television. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for joining us. Now the news in full, and we'll begin with a security update. The Nigerian Air Force on Wednesday said several terrorists were killed during a joint operation by the air component of Operation Hardin Kai and troops of the Nigerian Army. The service also said their hideouts in Damasak and Mobar local government areas of Kano State were equally destroyed. A statement by its Director, Public Relations and Information, Air Vice Marshal Edward Gabquet, noted that the terrorists who had attempted to attack troops of Sector 4 of the MNJTF at Lada, a border town between Niger Republic and Nigeria, subsequently fled across the border into Nigeria. He added that the fleeing terrorists, who were on 8 motorcycles, were later tracked to 2 locations in Zari village, about 28 kilometers east of Damasak and Mala Alide in the Mobar areas of Borno. Bandits have again killed at least 3 people and abducted 8 others in a fresh attack on Hayan Habuja village of Kakangi ward in Birnin Gwari local government area of Kano State. The latest attack comes just 5 days after 23 people were killed by bandits at Ngowar Danko community near Dogon Dawa district in the eastern part of Birnin Gwari local government. Police authorities and the Kano State government are yet to comment on the incident. However, the Secretary General of Birnin Gwari Emirate Progressive Union, Abdul Rashid Abarshi, said the bandits attacked the village at about 3 p.m. on Tuesday after they had camped at a nearby spot on Monday night to perfect their operation. He said 2 persons were shot dead on the spot, while 4 others were taken away by the bandits. He explained that the bandits, on their way out of Hayan Habuja village, killed another villager who was fetching firewood and also abducted 4 other persons. Still in Kaduna State, the Kaduna State House of Assembly has written to the state's Ministry of Finance demanding details of financial transactions under former Governor Nasir El-Rufai's administration between 2015 and 2023. This is in connection with the State Assembly's probe of all finances, loans and contract projects awarded under the El-Rufai administration. The probe by the State Assembly comes weeks after the incumbent governor of Kaduna State, Uba Sani, lamented that El-Rufai left him a huge debt profile. Sani, who spoke during a town hall meeting in Kaduna State, said he inherited a lean treasury, adding that he could not pay workers' salaries. The revelation by Sani generated reactions from several quarters, including El-Rufai's son, Bashir, who took to his social media handle to accuse his father's successor of shying away from his responsibility. Last Tuesday, at plenary, the Kaduna State House of Assembly resolved to probe El-Rufai's administration and therefore set up a fact-finding committee. Away from Kaduna State and now to the south part of the country. 4 hours after the resignation of Rivers State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Zacchaeus Adango, another commissioner in the state, Isaac Kamalu, has exited the cabinet of Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Like Adango, Kamalu, in a letter to the Secretary to the Rivers State Government, Tami Danagogo, on Wednesday, rejected his redeployment from the Finance Ministry to the Ministry of Employment, Generation and Economic Empowerment. Kamalu cited absence of peace in Rivers State despite the peace pact by President Bola Tinubu last December. He said it was impossible for him to give his best in an atmosphere of rancor. The governor had on Tuesday implemented a minor cabinet reshuffle in the state and moved Adango to the Ministry of Special Duties, the governor's office, while Kamalu was moved to the Ministry of Employment Generation and Economic Empowerment. The Rivers State government did not provide a reason for their redeployment. Both commissioners, who are loyalists of ex-governor Nyesom Wike, had previously resigned from their positions last December in the heat of the political crisis in the state and the rift between Fubara and his predecessor, who is now the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. However, they were reinstated as part of the peace agreement initiated by the President Bola Tinubu. The Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, has directed the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority to suspend Dana Air a day after one of the airline's planes skidded off the Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos runway. The minister also ordered a comprehensive audit of the airline encompassing all aspects of safety protocols, maintenance procedures, and financial health to ensure full compliance with the aviation sector's regulations. In a letter to the NCAA Director General titled "Immediate Suspension of Dana Air Pending Safety and Financial Health Audit," the minister said the move was necessary to ensure safety and regulatory compliance. The incident on Tuesday had led the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria to temporarily shut down runway 18L36R at the Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos, for flight operations. The runway was reopened on Wednesday morning after FAN's emergency response team evacuated and recovered the aircraft from the site. FAN's Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Obiageli Ora, announced this in a statement. She said subsequently comprehensive clearing operations were conducted to ensure the runway was free of any foreign object debris that could impede flight safety. President Bola Tinubu has approved the takeoff of the first phase of the Consumer Credit Scheme to facilitate the purchase of houses and cars by working Nigerians. In a statement on Wednesday, presidential spokesman Ajuri Ngalale said the scheme will enhance the quality of life citizens by allowing them to access goods and services upfront while paying responsibly over time. According to Ngalale, the president believes every hard-working Nigerian should have access to social mobility, with consumer credit playing a pivotal role in achieving this vision. In line with the president's directive to expand consumer credit access to Nigerians, the Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation has launched a portal for Nigerians to express interest in receiving consumer credit. The initiative, in collaboration with financial institutions and cooperatives nationwide, aims to broaden consumer credit availability. The statement noted, adding that working Nigerians interested in receiving consumer credit can visit Credit Corp's website to express interest before the deadline date of May 15, 2024. The House of Representatives Joint Committees on Environment, Climate Change, Petroleum Upstream and Downstream have begun a probe into the activities of oil companies and their impact on frontline communities. The aim, according to the committee, is to ensure that the voices of these communities are heard and their concerns addressed. Take a look.
Oil spillage in the oil-producing communities in the Niger Delta has been a recurring decimal that deserves urgent national attention from the government and oil companies as well, due to the devastating effect on the environment. Oftentimes, these communities suffer environmental degradation that affects not only their farmlands but also their means of livelihood. To this end, the House of Representatives Joint Committees decided through a House resolution to investigate the causes and effect of the degradation and its impact on affected frontline communities, with a view to preferring lasting solutions that will address the menace. This march, stated by the Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, was represented by Deputy Minority Whip George Ozodinobi and the House Chairman of Environmental, Pondi Bajabo.
We must ensure that the voices of those most affected by the environmental damage are heard and respected. We have to listen to the fears that are faced by the frontline communities, indigenous people, and marginalized groups who usually bear the brunt of environmental injustice. It is therefore for this reason that the House mandated the Committees of Environment, Petroleum Resources Upstream, Petroleum Resources Downstream, and Climate Change to investigate the environmental damage in oil-producing communities caused by
environmental damage in oil-producing communities still persists unabated. It is therefore incumbent on us as representatives of the people to identify the erring organizations, hold those responsible, accountable, and take decisive action to mitigate the living condition of our community.
Out of the 35 companies invited for the hearing, only 4 appeared, prompting the House to adjourn sitting. But before that, the Chairman House Committee on Climate Change used the opportunity to harp on the importance of understanding the dangers of ignoring the impact of climate change, using the recent rain disaster that occurred in Dubai as a case study.
We see what happened recently in Dubai. We saw it. And we see the extreme temperature even here in Abuja. We all see it every day. So even the caliber of those who are here today, I also think that the chief executives of the companies should also be here. Let us engage each other and agree on the way forward, because 2050 is roughly how many? 26 years away from this year, and also. And if we don't do something, I can assure you, what happened in Dubai will be a child's play.
The committee thereafter adjourned to the 8th of May 2024 to give invited companies more time to forward their documents for proper perusing by members of the committee.
Education stakeholders are calling on Nigerian government to utilize the power of the internet to promote a reading culture among youth. The call stems from the background that Nigeria ranks poorly in global reading culture, prompting concerns among experts. Trustee Habibat Ajayi has details of this report.
An effective culture reading is crucial for learning. Yet, Nigeria struggles with low reading engagement among its youths, a situation that negatively impacts academic performance. According to the National Commission for Mass Literacy, Adult and Non-Formal Education, 38% of Nigerians are illiterate. Stakeholders attribute the decline in reading culture to increased phone and social media usage. Library expert Suleiman Abdulgafar emphasized the importance of reading for youth and students.
At the moment, like you rightly said, it's really low. Some of the challenges that is creating this situation includes the social media. Social media in terms of the digital device, there are a lot of content online. People are only interested in laughing, and so you see people following funny skits online. They're following comedy shows online, and people are not interested in reading. Also, the advent of the TV, the television stations, a lot of drama series online, a lot of action movies, and what have you. And so you'll find people of reading age glued to those things as against picking up books.
But with the purpose of these books, the student come to the library, borrow the book, take it home, use it during the weekend and read this. Some of these books might really be helpful to them, and they might give them the opportunity to know what has happened, where it happened, and how the thing went on in the past.
Education administrator highlights the benefits of reading culture initiatives in schools.
Literature books in terms of poetry, prose and drama that they also go through, but we don't want them to only read those. So Gifted Hands by Richard Brands, by Ben Carson is part of the books that some we have in the library. We want them to read about known authors, not just for the curriculum, because those ones have a lot of lessons and people make a lot of allusions to them, such that they will understand the historical basis for some of those references.
Some students underscore the value gained from organized reading programs.
There are lots of activities apart from class activities that we indulge in. Here are some of them: quiz competitions, spelling bee competitions, debate competitions, article writing, and I recently just wrote an article about the Nigerian economy.
Advent of AI, the coming of AI, actually reduces the reading culture, because students can be given assignments to go home and do it, but instead of actually going through books and reading the books, they would rather go to an AI like ChatGPT and all and just put the prompt and get the answer.
Stakeholders encourage parents to collaborate with schools to educate children on responsible phone usage in order to foster a culture of reading among youth adults. Habibat Ajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
This is a news update on Trust TV, coming up shortly. Safeguarding gaps identified as a major factor responsible for bullying in Nigerian schools. We'll bring you insights and details of this story and more after the break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. But if you're just joining us, this is a news update on Trust Television. Let's take a look at our top stories again. NAF airstrikes kill terrorists, destroy hideouts in Borno. Federal government grounds Dana air operations after Lagos airport incident. And to more stories. The bullying incident at Lead British International School, Abuja, that went viral on social media has once again been brought to the fore. About the need to ensure the safety of students in schools. The incident, as well as those of Sylvester Romani and Karen Akbaga, again raised questions about the safety of students in boarding schools. In both cases, the tussle between parents seeking justice and schools' management ended in favor of the schools. In the latest incident, the management of Lead British International School, Abuja, has shut down the institution in order to investigate the incident. However, to prevent bullying in Nigerian schools, these SGBV advocates have called for strict anti-bullying policies in Nigerian schools as a way forward.
So in FTT, for instance, there's the response team to sexual and gender-based violence, but it should be holistic. It should not only be when it is a woman or a girl that is abused that these things are activated. So we should have systems in place to address, ready to address possible violations or possible occurrences. And why am I saying this? I've been talking about safeguarding. A proper safeguarding formula, applied to every school. There should be instituted people who have safeguarding roles. It's all about safeguarding, whether it's for sexual violations, whether it is for bullying, whether it's for whatever it is. It's all about the safety of vulnerable persons on facilities, and it is a priority. It should be a basic prerequisite before any school, any institution whatsoever gets an operational license.
Recent times, we've had reports of a student who is bullied to death, or students who are even bullied to death, and we've done nothing. The government has not done anything. Parents have done nothing. Even schools have not done anything about them. So I urge the government to put in place a strict anti-bullying, policy, and task all schools in Nigeria to have an office, a unit, or a department where bullying can be reported to. And I'm also urging schools, to raise awareness about the harmful effects of bullying and implement policies that include severe punishments, for bullies. I believe that will serve as a deterrent to others, and with that we can curb bullying in our society.
In business, Multichoice, a major satellite television service in sub-Saharan Africa, has announced an increase in prices on the DSTv and GOTv packages. In a statement titled "Price Adjustment on DSTv and GOTv Packages signed by its Chief Executive Officer, John Ugbe, and sent to its customers on Wednesday. Multichoice said the increase was necessitated by the rise in the cost of business operations. According to the statement, the increment would take effect on May 1, 2024. The premium package on DSTv, which used to cost 29,500 naira, would now go for 37,000 naira, while the Compact Plus, which currently goes for 19,800 naira, has been increased to 25,000 naira. The National Broadcasting Commission says it will consider the review of the 2.5% gross revenue remittance imposed on broadcast stations in Nigeria by the Commission. While speaking during a meeting with key stakeholders of broadcasting stations in Nigeria, the newly appointed Director General of the Commission, Charles Ebwebo, explained that the move is to meet emerging economic challenges in the country. He also said the NBC management will review the NBC code in totality while assuring stakeholders present that the new management is committed to the welfare and interests of all broadcast stations in Nigeria. The NBC DG frowned at the court ruling in January 2024, which stopped the NBC from imposing sanctions and fines on broadcast stations and described it an anomaly. He stated that while the Commission is appealing the court ruling, it remains steadfast in its mandate. The DG enlisted formulation of comprehensive policies that support the growth of broadcast stations as well as promotion of communication and dialogue as some of the core values of his administration. We'll take it away from Nigeria now. 3 men have been arrested in connection with the death of 5 migrants in the English Channel on Tuesday. The UK's National Crime Agency has said the men were detained on suspicion of facilitating illegal immigration and entering the UK illegally. 5 people, including a 7-year-old girl, were killed in a crash on board a boat crossing the Channel. The boat was carrying 112 people at the time of the tragedy. Police identified the men as 2 Sudanese nationals aged 22 and 19 and a South Sudanese citizen aged 22. The statement issued by officials on Wednesday said the men were arrested in a Tuesday night raid by NCA and immigration enforcement officers. The 3 are being questioned by officers at a police station in Kent. In sports, the Nigeria Premier Football League has imposed a 6 million naira fine on Kwara United for the disruption of live broadcast of their March Day 31 clash against Aqua United. Kwara United were also charged for providing false information which led to a fixture adjustment. The Harmony Boys requested that their game against Aqua United be moved from Saturday, April 20 to Sunday, April 21, citing a letter claiming that the state government had planned an event at the stadium. The fine was contained in a memo sent to the club. Kwara United have 48 hours to appeal the verdict. And on that note, the news update at this hour on Trust Television has come to an end. Remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream from our news, programs, and documentaries. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for your time. Join us again.